Good evening. Welcome to the first episode of the Morbid Hour. I'm Hellhound, and here shortly we should be joined by Sean Urshan and HorrorFan88. Should be a good time. So I sent them the invite already, so just waiting for them to join. We're not scheduled till 6, so I started about 10 minutes early. Since I'm new to this will be the first live stream on my channel. I've attempted to do this before, but it never worked, so hopefully it'll work this time. All right, I just texted them, or just messaged them, told them I was ready. Cool. So far, so good. Looks like this is working. So, some cool topics picked out, and we'll go through them as soon as Sean and HorrorFan88 arrive. I'm using my laptop, by the way, to webcam. I didn't even know my laptop had a webcam, so I hardly ever use it. I hardly ever use my laptop for anything. Editing YouTube videos and like writing stuff. That's about it. So looks like it's gonna work. So far, so good. Fingers crossed. Looks like we got one viewer. Welcome to the show. Feel free to introduce yourself. Yo, how's it going, Daniel? Just waiting on Sean and HorrorFan88. Oh, looks like we got Sean. Hey, Sean, how's it going, buddy? I can't hear you. Oh.
There you go. How about
Hey.
you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, good.
Looks like this is going to work,
All
so
right.
you're good.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Your lap. Yep.
Yeah, my laptop.
Perfect. And there he is. Hey, what's going on?
Whoa, how's it going, man?
Good, good. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
All right, we can hear everybody. We're good, huh?
Excellent.
So are we already live? Like we're
already
on?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, we're on now, so.
All right. A few minutes early, but that's good.
Yeah, I want to start early just in case, since never started this before, never done this before.
Yo, I got my final campaign shirt on.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice. And I'm wearing my Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch shirt, but you can't see it because it's
that's metal AF right there.
Yeah. No, just kidding. I should have worn my Horror Hangouts shirt. Shoot, I meant to do that, but I was so busy setting this up.
You can change the how it looks to like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's
there we go.
Better, right?
Much better. Much
that
better.
Looks better, right?
Definitely.
To get a wider view.
Right. Cool. Yeah, this is a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Damn! Look at all those movies.
Nice. Yeah, I would have filmed in front of my bookshelves full of movies, but I can't. I don't want to film in the living room because I might not be. I'd rather film in my bedroom, so I'm undisturbed. So you might walk down to do laundry or get something out of the garage or something, and start talking to me, and it'll distract from the morbid hour.
Yes. All right.
So yeah, welcome to the Morbid Hour, the first episode ever here on the Horror Metal channel. I'm Hellhound.
I'm Sean Urshan.
Horror fan 88.
And
Your sound is a little low there.
yeah, I wasn't able to hear you very well.
Is that any better?
I can't hear you at all now.
Yeah, I still can't hear you.
One second, please. I'm doing something.
Now I
I
can
hear you now.
Yeah.
Now we lost him.
He's gone.
But it was good there.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about, huh?
Indeed.
Got Daniel Grilov in the chat.
Yeah.
We're still a couple minutes early.
Yeah, we got like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Any better?
Welcome back.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
now I can hear you.
Excellent.
I'm new to this, so I'm just figuring everything out.
Me too.
So this is your first ever live stream, huh?
Yep.
This is the first one I've done on my channel, so
I'm surprised you've been around quite a while. Never done a live stream.
well, I always tried to do it the old way on Google Hangouts, and it never worked on my phone. And I hardly ever used this laptop, so I didn't realize I had a webcam. And it was also really slow and didn't connect to the Wi-Fi really well, so I didn't think it would work. So, but it seems to be working so far, so hopefully it'll stay that way. Strange Tennessean is in the house. How's it going?
Hello. So this is from your laptop?
Yeah. So, which is good, because this way I'll be able to look at my phone and stuff at the same time. And
that's funny, because every time I try to use my laptop, it goes haywire.
yeah, mine usually does too. That's why I was, I never tried it before. Hopefully it'll, hopefully that doesn't happen. But
I tried it like a week or so ago. I tried to be on the Coast to Coast stream there. And yeah, it went crazy, like making all weird noises. I'm like, all right, I'm just using my phone. I've realized now that I have to use my phone, or else it just won't work.
Yeah, I was gonna do that, but I don't want to hold my phone for an hour and a half or 2 hours, however long. I have to prop it up on something, and this is the only place I can sit comfortably in.
That's why I got one of these things, because there's these things you can buy.
Like a tripod looking thing, or
well, it's like a clip thing, and you can clip it to like your desk or something. And
yeah, I need one of those.
Your phone there. That's what I'm doing right now.
I just have my phone propped up against something.
Yeah, that's what I do. But there's nowhere I can sit comfortably and do that. If I sit in my other room, my computer chair, I could prop it against my computer. But somebody will come interrupt the video, so so I'm gonna just hide in here. Mr. Dan and Horror in the house. How's it going? And Drum Smash 88. How's it going, brother?
Hey, what's up, dude?
It's 6 o'clock. You guys want to go ahead and start with our first topic?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to just jump right into the Halloween Kills trailer, or save that for last, or what?
Why not now?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Go for it.
Go for it.
So,
you have the
Halloween Kills trailer. I am very excited for the movie. I know there was a bit of talk about the trailer, about it showing a little bit too much. And I admit they did show a lot. But overall, I'm still very excited. I think that they gave us what they were promised. Michael is definitely brutal from what we see in the trailer. Tons of gore and carnage. And I'm just excited to see it. I was bummed when it got pushed a whole year, but here we are a few months away.
Totally agree.
And Michael, I think overall looks awesome. The burns on his mask. And I don't think they overdid it too much. I think it looks perfect, honestly.
I agree. Looks pretty brutal too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And that's what they've been saying all along. That this is going to be the most brutal Halloween ever. Like it pretty much looks like it from the trailer.
Yeah, some of those kills that they showed in the trailer, I was just like, "Oh, that's new."
Like when you bust the glass light bulb thing, and it was on the lady's neck.
That was crazy, but it looked good.
Daniel says, "I hate the title Halloween Kills. Seems bland." Yeah, I mean, it's better than just calling it Halloween, though. Anything's better than that. Give it the same title as the first movie. Like, come on, just go with the title. And I remember the rumor was the last Halloween movie was it was going around that it might be called either Halloween Returns or Halloween the Next Chapter, which I thought were good titles. But I guess people try to avoid titles like that with Returns or Revenge or Chapter these days. So just call it Halloween. It's like whatever. But they probably could have done better than Halloween Kills also. But I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I've accepted it.
Yeah. They probably could have come with something better, but it works.
Yeah,
all the good titles have taken: Return of Michael Myers, Revenge of Michael Myers, Curse of Michael Myers, Affairs of Michael Myers. They've already used all the subtitles.
Yeah, I've heard a few people say this is like the real Revenge of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah.
True.
He's definitely had it. He's had enough.
Yeah.
Really. Indeed. Anything you'd like to add about the trailer, Sean?
Yeah, like Harvan was saying, I did feel like they may have showed a little bit too much, but I didn't think it was necessary that they had to show how Michael escapes from the fire. I just thought that was I would have rather have seen that. But we've been waiting so long. I guess maybe we did deserve a little more than what they would normally do.
I agree. They should have probably saved that for when we actually see the movie. And the teaser trailer was fine when it showed the fire trucks going toward it, and it's just like, no, let him burn. But we pretty much saw the whole thing about how he escapes and stuff. I was like, I would have rather them save that.
Yeah.
I liked Laurie's couple lines there, like every time Michael kills, he transcends.
Yeah. Now she's walking through the hospital looking all pissed off, like I will end him once and for all.
Yeah. I get that feel. I can almost get that feeling like this is gonna be the last run for her.
Yeah, you're probably right. I agree with Drum Smash, how a sequel should be made. It definitely looks like it's going to be very enjoyable.
Yeah. I'm curious because they've talked about some of like the flashback scenes of 78.
Yeah.
They didn't show any of that, and I wonder if maybe it's better we don't see it.
I guess we're going to see a grown-up Lonnie from the first film and his kids and stuff. I hope somebody tells him, I hope somebody says, hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there again.
Yeah.
Cool.
They have to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
The Modern Office.
I also feel like, when it comes to, I know it's just a trailer so far, but some of the night shots, they actually look pretty good. Like the lighting looks really good for it. Kind of has that bluish tint sometimes that the Halloween's are known for.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I hope they do give us some of that suspense like the original movie, I kind of felt that was missing in the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But, as long as they keep Michael Myers really mysterious and how he lacks a conscience and is totally unrelatable with no motives or, just pure evil on two legs, And I like all the scenes of him emerging from the shadows and stuff. As long as there's enough of that, and like you said, some suspense and some brutal kills, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I hope they do a lot different with it than. I hope it just doesn't feel like a rehash from the last one. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that way. So hopefully they find a lot of ways to keep it fresh and stuff. So that's what I want to see. And yeah, again, I think the trailer looked good, but like you said, it does give away a little too much. But definitely got me pumped. That's for sure.
Yeah, and two of my favorite shots from the original and part 2 is of Michael's mask slowly emerging out of the dark. Those
Yes.
two
Oh,
things
God, I love
always
that.
give me
Yes.
chills. So I hope they
It gives
kind
me
of do
chills
that
every time.
somehow.
Collector Man, how's it going, man? He says, so we're getting a Loomis stand-in. I remember the picture of a gentleman who looks strikingly similar to Donald Pleasance. Yeah, I saw something like
really?
that too. Yeah, as long as they don't do another Sartain, because we already saw that.
I hope they don't like CGI him or something. Like
Yeah.
CGI Loomis.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, with Donald Pleasance's face deep faked onto another actor's body or something. What if they had like Dr. Loomis's son or something? Would that be a good idea? Or, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on that.
I actually
it's too late to do that now, but
yeah, I actually thought when I first saw Halloween 2018 that journalist guy was gonna be like related to Loomis, and that's why he was trying to get to Michael so much. But we don't even know if he died. We didn't actually see him die.
True.
He might be in this one.
We assume that he did, but
yeah, most likely.
we just know he bashed the shit out of him. Like
that thing was brutal.
Yeah.
I agree, Collector Man. CGI would be the worst. Yeah, that'd be terrible. I was just joking when I said that. Like Peter Cushing and Rogue One.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd be a good idea to do in a Halloween movie.
And his voice really bothered me too when they did that.
Yeah.
Like that sounds nothing like Peter Cushing.
Not at all.
And I'm genuinely excited. I hope they don't show any material from the flashback scenes. I hope that's something that they let us experience in the theater, because I want to see how they do and what Michael's going to look like, and it's going to be like, wow, this is awesome.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So
I do like how his mask looks all burnt and kind of melted on one side. That was a great idea.
And let's see how faithful they are when they do those flashbacks. If it's like the exact mask from '78, that'd be badass.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I don't know, the way I imagine it, I feel like it's going to be like a black screen, but you're going to hear Loomis's 6 gunshots go off, and then it's just going to pick up at some point. But like, I don't know if they're going to show the ending of Halloween, but
I was hoping they were going to do that in 2018, but I guess, showed him fall out the window after getting shot 6 times, and then Loomis trying to finish him off. But I guess they couldn't do that because, obviously they didn't have Donald Pleasance, unfortunately. But so I don't know how they could have gone about that. But I was expecting it when I saw it. I was expecting them to show the ending of Halloween, the original. Kind of like they did at the beginning of Texas Chainsaw 3D.
oh yeah,
Showing the ending of the 1974 original. But oh, Dylan Mentis is here. How's it going? My favorite horror YouTubers. Oh, thank you very much.
Oh,
glad
nice.
you're here. Anybody else have anything to add about Halloween Kills before we get to the next topic? Or
I know they've said that this is supposedly going to be the highest body count of the franchise, so I don't know how many kills the trailer actually showed, but I feel like we're going to get a whole lot more, and I'm excited to see it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Can't come soon enough. Been waiting
a
year, damn it.
I know, we were supposed to see it last year. It's like, man, it got delayed like over a year. It was like, man.
And we waited a year to get that.
Yeah. Hope it's worth the wait. Looks like it's not going to disappoint.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to deliver the goods.
Yeah, I agree, Dylan. Definitely.
I feel like advertising for it started quickly too, because we're only like I think 3-4 months away from the release.
Big time. Well, the
Waiting
trailer
for
was
like
leaked, so I guess they had to officially release it.
it leaked, and they were like, "Go ahead and just release it." It was supposed to
Yeah,
come out a week later.
Yeah.
pretty much.
They were forced to, yeah.
I saw it on somebody's Facebook page, and I thought it was like fake or something. It said leaked trailer, and I clicked on it. I thought it was gonna be like Rickrolled or something. It's like, here we go, and then I clicked it, and it was the actual trailer. I was like, whoa, cool, and then they took it down like right away, and then the official trailer came out like the next day. So
Yeah, I was wondering, what are your guys' thoughts on like the entire like it's like the town versus Michael and how it's gonna play out? Like, is he just gonna go on a massacre?
it'd be cool to see how they handle that
Yeah.
for sure.
The one
Clean
shot in
house.
the teaser trailer where it's just like a quick shot of Michael just bashing somebody and blood shooting. It's like, I wonder what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be violent as hell. So
Oh, yeah.
I think that'll be something interesting that we haven't seen before. I think that could be
Absolutely.
cool, like that whole town fighting against them.
Yeah.
That's something different.
yeah, that'll be really cool.
We had
like a
that a
witch
little bit
hunt
in
kinda
Halloween
thing.
4. Halloween 4 with the
Yeah.
guys at the bar, but it didn't work out so well for them.
Yeah, I heard that too, Dylan. The whole mob rules thing, old Celtic tale of Halloween, festival of Samhain, and all that.
Yeah. I always like that aspect of Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You really get into the holiday too,
Definitely.
the mythology of it.
It looks like might have some good Halloween atmosphere, but
Oh, yeah.
so is it going to take place right after 2018 or what? I mean, he escapes from the fire, obviously, like the trailer shows, which was at the end of 2018. But is it going to jump forward a year or so, or what? Because like that's not going to be on Halloween anymore. If it's showing the next day, they're in the hospital and whatnot. There was clearly some daytime scenes. So if 2018 was during Halloween, and if this one's the next day, it's not going to be on Halloween, the holiday anymore. So
I think it might be on the same night. Like it's going to pick up with them in the back of the truck and go from there. But
well, that's what I was thinking. But there was, there's some daytime scenes in the trailer. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I only watched it once because it gave away too much, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I want to just kind of forget a lot of it. So I don't know. Maybe I should watch it again. But yeah, hopefully it'll be on Halloween also.
and the Halloween
like
3
Halloween.
mask,
Like Halloween 2 did, yeah.
Right.
Maybe there weren't any daytime scenes. I don't know, maybe I'm remembering wrong.
I can't think of any. I don't think
I don't know. I mean, it looked like a lot of time had passed. Like it looked like Lori was in the hospital walking around, and it's still on the same night. A few hours had to have passed at least. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
couldn't
Why not? It
imagine
could be
Halloween
4
ends.
o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you the Blumhouse is gonna be like so relieved once they finally release it. Like, God damn, it's tired of hearing these fans. Let's just get this thing out.
Yeah. All the rabid fans pestering them.
Yep.
I did see the 4K release artwork collector, man, and yeah, I gotta get a 4K player, and I gotta buy those films again, man. I've bought the Halloween movies so many times on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, Laserdisc, Beta, CED, video disc, reel to reel. I'm tired of buying them.
Beta man.
I'm not gonna buy them again until you actually be in the movie, where it's like a hologram all around the room. That's the only way I'm gonna ever buy them again. That'd be awesome, getting chased by Michael Myers, in a virtual reality simulation or something.
Yeah. Like 75K something.
Art Wishwood is in the chat. How's it going?
I finally got a 4K player about a year ago, and first thing I watched on it was my 4K of Halloween. Thought it looked
Nice.
great. So,
Good choice.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a great one to start with.
and then I went to my 4K of Evil Dead 2, and that looked great too. I'm like,
Another awesome choice.
Sweet.
Yeah, I gotta get me one eventually. There's not a whole lot of movies that are on 4K yet, but I guess there will be.
In the horror genre, not a whole.
Yeah,
Like, it's
exactly.
just starting to.
I think I still have a few HD DVDs, like in the red cases.
Oh yeah.
I've got a couple of those and some UMD.
Does those even work on a regular, like a? Yep, they don't even work on my 4K. I don't think.
I don't think I've tried it yet.
I've got some UMD discs, which were played on a PSP, PlayStation Portable. I still got a few of those. That format didn't last long.
Just got this in the mail.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Dylan. I don't know much about 4K. Nice. Tenebrae. It's one of my favorite Argento films. One of my favorite Italian horror flicks.
Yeah, I had the regular DVD, but I had to upgrade.
Right.
It's a nice release to get all kinds of special stuff in it.
Yeah, I got the old Anchor Bay DVD of that. I really need to.
Yeah, I have that too.
upgraded Suspiria on
Yeah, that's the one I have.
I got that too.
It looks great.
I got all the I want to get the one they just released, the Demons and Demons.
Yeah. Is it a double
That
feature?
looks really nice. Yeah.
I was reading about that in
4K.
one of the magazines I got recently. Was it the Scream magazine or Horror Hound? Yeah, they're talking about that release, and I was thinking it was only in the UK, but I looked it up and I was like, "Oh, cool! It's in America too. Awesome." Are you guys ready for the next topic?
Yeah.
All right. I guess it'll be. I guess we can go ahead and discuss Rob Zombie's upcoming The Munsters reboot. I don't have a whole lot to say about that, but I'll try to.
I got something else I had to show off for that.
I'd like to go to that, Dylan, that horror con.
The month.
Yes.
I think I showed you that.
Yeah, I saw it on in the Messenger. Yeah, I haven't watched those since I saw them at my grandma's house with my cousins, which was like a lifetime ago. Yeah, Munsters. Which one was the 81 one?
That's
the
Revenge Munsters.
That's what I thought. That's the one that doesn't have Butch Patrick or it's Uddy, and doesn't have the actress that played Marilyn.
Right.
There's been a few actresses that played Marilyn. There's even a couple different ones in the original 60s TV show. But yeah, I watched this since I was a kid. What's that?
But the first one was right after the show.
Yeah, right after it ended. Yeah, you're right. The wax figures coming to life.
Mm.
Yeah, I watched that when I was a kid at my grandma's with my cousins, and I haven't seen it since. I love the Munsters. I grew up watching that, and the Addams Family, and Gilligan's Island, Beverly Hillbillies, all that.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, golden age of television.
Oh yeah.
Munster or Addams Family? Dylan wants to know. Honestly, I think I like Addams Family better as a franchise, like as a whole. Which includes the original 60s black and white show, the two 90s movies, both cartoons, the one from the 70s, the one from the 90s, the new Addams Family show, which was okay. Addams Family Reunion wasn't that great, and I didn't really care a whole lot for the recent animated one, but I didn't watch the whole thing, so... but I think I do prefer just both the original series from the 60s, Munsters versus Addams Family. I think I might go the Munsters by a hair, but it's very, very close. I like how they actually are monsters. Herman Munster is the Frankenstein's monster. Grandpa might possibly be Dracula. Lily Munster, his daughter, is a vampire, and Eddie Munster is a werewolf, and Marilyn, of course, is an ordinary human. And they have a cousin. There's is it Uncle Gilbert, who's the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I think there was a mummy character at some point as well, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I love that show.
Got that pet spot in the stairs.
Yeah, yeah,
Stairs.
the stairs.
I love the Addams Family, but my heart goes to the Munsters. That's just what I grew up loving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is a close one. I think I will go the Munsters overall when it comes to the original 1960s TV shows. My favorite one's the one where Herman becomes a human. And it's just Frank Wayne without the makeup. That's a really funny one.
It still comes on TV sometimes, and I'll catch it, sit down and watch it. Just love it.
Yeah, definitely.
I have it on the Hulu. I think it's Hulu. I watch it.
Hey, James Moss is in the chat. How's it going?
What's up, James? So yeah, I would pick definitely Monsters probably because I love Universal Monsters so much, so that's right in my alley. But I definitely enjoy ads.
Oh gosh, yeah. I like how Herman Munsters. I guess the Munsters was owned by Universal, so Herman Munster was actually able to use the original Jack Pierce, Boris Karloff, Frankenstein's monster makeup. Akin to the 1931 classic, which is cool because a lot of times they'll make a Frankenstein adaptation or something and then don't have the rights to use that likeness.
Like Hammer.
Yeah, which I'm kind of glad because it made it unique. You know, Christopher Lee's version of the creature and Curse of Frankenstein had a totally different look, which I like. And Evil of Frankenstein, he kind of looked similar to the Boris Karloff one. A little bit. I guess at that point they maybe did have the rights or something. I'm not sure, but I'm kind of glad they did their own thing with it. The Hammer movies, you know. It's weird because Revenge of Frankenstein. Curse of Frankenstein with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee kind of followed the Mary Shelley novel a little more than the 1931 Universal one did. But I feel like Horror of Dracula strayed even further from the Bram Stoker novel than the 1931 Universal film did. Both of them take a lot of liberties, for sure. I think Horror of Dracula takes even more liberties. You know, Jonathan Harker and being a vampire hunter and everything, and the fact that they don't actually leave, you know, Transylvania or whatever, the area where Dracula's castle is anyway. He doesn't.
I have yet to watch this, but I believe this is a prequel. But I'm not sure. But that is Horror of Frankenstein.
Yeah, so that's actually kind of a reboot and a sort of a parody. It's kind of a horror comedy. Ralph Bates plays Dr. Victor Frankenstein. It doesn't have any connection with the others. It's not a bad movie. I like it more than everybody else does. David Prowse plays the Frankenstein monster, who of course played Darth Vader, and he's also the monster in the next movie, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, which does have Peter Cushing and is related to all the others. So it's kind of like its own thing. It's not really part of the Hammer Frankenstein series. It's kind of like its own thing. They rebooted it, and it was released as a double feature with Scars of Dracula. So that's basically what that is.
On the plus side, it has Kate O'Mara and Veronica Carlson.
Yeah. I really like Ralph Bates, too, you know. Lord Courtly from Taste the Blood of Dracula. And he was also in Lust. Was it Lust for a Vampire?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that wasn't too good, but I
didn't like him in that though.
Yeah, I do like Ralph Bates.
Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
That's another one. Yeah, he was. I knew he was in a few Hammer horror movies.
Yeah, over the past few months, I've been really wanting to get more into the Hammer stuff, and watching your guys' channels for a few years, and y'all talk about
Good choice, James.
You always get good recommended stuff, so check out more as we go.
Definitely.
Enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I actually am.
Good. Well, anyway, about Rob Zombie's The Munsters, I don't think I really want to see like an R-rated The Munsters, maybe seeing Grandpa and Lily Munster feeding on people, having fangs and biting people's necks and draining them of their blood, and Eddie turning into a werewolf and going out and slaughtering people. I don't know. As much as I don't think I'd like to see the Munsters doing that. So I don't really want them to do an R-rated one. I actually kind of want to see if Rob Zombie can make a movie that doesn't have over the top vulgarity and profanity and F bombs here and there, people talking about necrophilia and bestiality and nasty stuff and cussing and everybody being like a carny type. So I want to see if he can make something like that. I know Sherry Moon's probably going to play Lily Munster, which I guess is fine. She's not going to top Yvonne DiCarlo. But yeah, I don't want to see an R-rated one. And I think it'll be a challenge to Rob Zombie as a director to see if he can do something again without constant vulgarity and whatnot. So I'm hoping I'll keep an open mind about it. And I'll definitely see it in the theater, being a fan of the Munsters and overall being a fan of Rob Zombie. I know there's a lot of things he's done that I'm not a fan of, but I'll give everything he does a fair chance. So I'll reserve judgment. Hopefully it'll be good. I'm hoping he knows what he's doing. I feel like he'll be respectful to it. At least I hope he will, because I know he's a fan of the original show and that sort of thing. So I think he'll know what the fans are going to want to see. That, especially after hearing people criticize his take on Halloween. He's might think, okay, well maybe the fans want to see a more faithful adaptation of the Munsters. Well, and hopefully he'll bring some a fresh take on it as well. I just hope they don't do anything like that Mockingbird Lane show, which with Eddie Izzard and who else was in it? Jerry O'Connell, I guess. Because they didn't even look like monsters; they just looked like ordinary people. I didn't think that was a good idea.
I never heard of that. What's that?
Yeah, it's like a reboot of the Munsters, and yeah, they all look just like ordinary humans. I don't think I ever really watched it, but I've heard about it. I've seen pictures, and it might be good. I don't know. I'm sure it's well done and well acted. I'm a fan of the cast. I like the cast, but it just doesn't look enough like the Munsters. It just looks like it's so different than why even call it the Munsters? Just my opinion.
Overall, I think Rob Zombie is a great director, scriptwriter. Not so much. I like his music and I like his movies, but I don't like everything in his movies. But maybe he'll surprise us this time. I don't really want to see Herman Munster walk in the house, stub his toe, and say the F word 100 times.
Me neither.
I think they could maybe pull off a PG-13 where they could show a little bit of morbid stuff, but they don't have to have cursing left and right.
Yeah.
And I don't think the main character should curse at all.
Definitely not. It could be a little darker than than the original show, which would be fine, but I don't think it should be really bloody.
I'd say PG-13 maybe.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Morbid stuff like maybe Eddie taking out some people.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see if he can do comedy. If he can actually make it funny. He's never done that really. Yeah,
true. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see his take on it for sure. Wouldn't be my first choice to make a Munsters adaptation, but as I said, I'll have an open mind.
You can bet it'll look cool.
Sure. Yeah, it'll be awesome visually, probably.
That's some cool music, probably.
I agree, Jump Smash. I still like Return and Revenge titles. I don't know why they don't use those anymore. And I like when a movie has a title like that, and Curse and Bride and Son. I like all that, and now they just give the same title as the original and stuff. And, with Rambo, has the same title as the second movie. Rambo First Blood Part 2. And then the fourth film's just called Rambo. Didn't have the First Blood Part 2 subtitle, so it's a totally different movie, totally different title. Yeah, whatever. In Texas Chainsaw, 3D, they took the 3D off in the home video release. So yeah, just Texas Chainsaw, a sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Next, they're making Jason.
That really narrows it down.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna make a Jason movie called Friday the, or a Freddy movie called Nightmare on Elm. It's come up with something more creative than that. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Yeah, Herman can't curse. Definitely not. That would be terrible.
The death of Michael Myers.
Yeah, there you go. I'd definitely be down for that. Yeah, next time it's just Texas. And then the next one just to be called The. Dylan said next time it's just Texas.
Just Texas, yeah. Texas Massacre, no chainsaw.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That reminds me of the movie Pieces. I love the tagline of that movie. Like, it's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't
I
have
love
to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
That's a brutal movie.
Yeah.
I got it on Blu-ray.
I have the Blu-ray too.
I've got the special edition that comes with the CD, and I think it's 2 discs also and stuff. They put a lot into that release for such a relatively obscure movie, which is pretty cool.
I'm stuck with a DVD that has horrible video quality.
You gotta get the Grindhouse one.
Definitely. James Moss says, "Rest in peace, Richard Donner, who directed the original The Omen from 1976." Yeah, it's a shame. The Omen, Superman the movie, The Goonies, Lethal Weapon. One of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes. One of my favorite Tales from the Crypt episodes. The guy was a legend. I was really sorry to hear about his passing.
Yeah. I love The Omen. That's one of the greatest.
Definitely. Daniel says, what?
Oh, I was going to say, I'm a horror movie guy, but I also love action, and the Lethal Weapon franchise I love. So,
yeah, everybody.
Agreed. Definitely. Daniel says, "Did you guys hear about another direct sequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre being made? It's on IMDb." Yeah, I've heard about it. I guess they're just calling it Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which
I heard it's another is it a reboot or is it a sequel?
I think it's a direct sequel to the original, just like Texas Chainsaw 3D was. So we're gonna have two different. The continuity is already all over the place. Okay, because Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 was supposed to be the true official sequel, which I actually like that one. And then Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, just followed the original and ignored Part 2. Then Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation also claimed to do that, even though it's kind of a remake. And then there's the remake continuity. Then there's Texas Chainsaw 3D, which follows the original and none of the others. Then Leatherface, which is a prequel to the original, and now yet another one that only follows the original. It's a freaking the continuity is a mess. It's worse than the X-Men series when it comes to continuity. It's ridiculous. I'll still see it, of course, but man, if they do a direct sequel, can they please have it set in the 70s? And Marilyn Burns' character, Sally Hardesty, is going to be back, but not played by Marilyn Burns, who passed away, of course. And I was like, well, Marilyn Burns was in Texas Chainsaw 3D playing a different character, Verna Sawyer. So I was like, why couldn't they just done that back then, made a direct sequel, and have her come back as Sally, So, whatever.
That's what bothered me the most about Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to take place the same time as the original, but it looks like 2013. It doesn't look, they make no effort to make it look like it takes place in the 70s.
Yeah, it's
not to mention the timeline where it's like 40 years later, but she's like 18 and it's like 39, 40 or something.
Yeah, and she's like 18 at the oldest, maybe early 20s at the absolute oldest, and she should have been at least 40 or 39.
Yeah, it's all messed up.
But anyway, anybody else have anything they'd like to add about Rob Zombie's The Munsters?
I'll go into it with an open mind. I'm there for it. Check it out.
Likewise.
I won't say I have high hopes, but I have hopes.
Yeah, my expectations aren't exactly through the roof or anything, but I'll reserve judgment. Because I'd love to see a proper Munsters adaptation. We really haven't seen like a good reboot of it. There's that the Munsters Today show in the 80s, and I kind of like the guy who played Grandpa, but I didn't care for the rest of the cast. I don't know. It wasn't too good. It wasn't the same. But I guess we'll see. All right. So anyway, next topic. Fast versus slow zombies. What do you guys think?
Well, I think the slow zombies, and stuff like Night of the Living Dead, they have this very very creepy. I think they call them ghouls, if I'm not mistaken. Ghouls. They were creepy, but you could also walk past them pretty quickly. But if they were like in a horde, you got a problem. But it's something like Return of the Living Dead, where you can't kill them pretty much, and they're running after you. I feel like that would be more of a terrifying situation. But
I get that.
I agree. What do you think, Sean?
Well, I mean, I always love the classics, so I'm gonna have to go with the classic slow zombie. And even though technically, in reality, it would be scarier if they were any, but oh man, I gotta get the hell out of here quick. But just movie-wise, for me, I love seeing the classic slow style zombies. It's just I don't know, it's like a creepier visual, like these lifeless things who are walking around,
Definitely.
And if they gather together, you're screwed.
For sure. Well, for me, I guess it really does depend on the movie. Like Horror Fan 88 said, like the Romero films, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and all that. Yeah, I think I prefer the slow zombies when it comes to movies like that. They are definitely creepier. But when I first saw Return of the Living Dead, I was pretty blown away by the fact that they were not only really fast, but also intelligent. They also spoke, and they're really hard to kill. Just a shot to the head didn't do it anymore. You had to pretty much dismember them and incinerate them and everything, and they kept coming no matter what, and they could outsmart you. And they also they ate people's brains instead of just the whole body, I guess. So it's really cool seeing the fast zombies, and of course in other movies like the Dawn of the Dead remake, the 2004 version. So it really depends on the movie, but overall, I will say slow zombies are creepier and are kind of what I prefer. But I'm glad there are movies that have faster, more intelligent zombies too. And I agree with Jump Smash 88 about the slow zombies. As long as I prefer rotting corpses, heavily decomposed, maggot-infested, like green-skinned zombies missing an eye and like a worm crawling out of their skin and exposed bone and stuff. Because as much as I love the Romero zombies, they're awesome, and those are the king of the zombie. Romero's the king of the zombies. But a lot of times in his movies, they were kind of freshly dead. And it's because they didn't have the budget, of course. They didn't have all the makeup effects and stuff, which is understandable. It was like they'd get off the slab at the morgue, and they just looked really pale and stuff. And then Dawn of the Dead, they had kind of a light blue face paint. Great movies, but I do definitely prefer like more heavily rotted zombies that look like they've been on the ground for a while. And I love scenes of zombies busting out of their graves, with a tombstone, seeing a hand coming out of the ground and the whole zombie getting up and this guy missing half of its face. You can see exposed skull and stuff. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
I love the Fulci ones, the Lucio Fulci style.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, man, those zombies are really realistic looking. When I first saw the cover of Lucio Fulci's zombie in the video store eons ago, I thought that was a photograph of a real corpse. That's how convincing it was. And I was like, yeah, I think the Romero movies are better, but I think the zombies in the Lucio Fulci movie are better looking overall, better makeup effects and stuff.
Yeah. And then, man, that scene like in Zombie when they come out of the ground, man, it's creepy as hell.
Definitely.
It's slowly coming out of the dirt, covered in the pile
yes.
of dirt. It's awesome.
Definitely, yeah, it's definitely what I prefer when it comes to walking, living corpses. The shamblers.
Because in these fast ones, a lot of them, like World War Z, for example, it's all CGI. A lot of
yeah, I don't care for that. I also like it better when it's actual dead humans, like deceased humans, and not like a virus that has people like infected somehow, just like living people, but they're plagued by some kind of disease, and they makes them zombies. I like it better when it's like they're actual dead people. And I really like when black magic or some kind of voodoo or something's involved as well, instead of because like when it comes to like a science backstory, like, it doesn't really explain how zombies can be walking around even though their muscles are rotted and stuff, and how they can even move their legs or speak with rotted vocal cords. But if it's like a supernatural backstory, that makes sense because it's like magic, bends the rules of reality. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what I like.
me too.
Oh, James Moss says his uncle saw Faces of Death and it gave him nightmares. I remember those movies. I rented them from the video store. Yeah, very disturbing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Blu-ray Forever is in the chat. Hey, everyone. First time witnessing your stream. Welcome aboard. Glad you're here. I agree, Art. Walking Dead is an awesome show. Collector Man says, since we're talking zombies, I'll throw out a bit of shameful self-promotion. I'll be doing a live commentary for Return of the Living Dead this Friday at 9 p.m. Yeah, I saw that on either Facebook or somewhere on YouTube, and I set a reminder, so I'll definitely be tuning in.
Nice.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, because I mean, Go
ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think Walking Dead does a great job of the slow moving down.
Definitely, and they're really heavily rotted too most of the time.
I still watch The Walking Dead. Like I as much as I might not like a season, if I'm just like, I'm not gonna watch it. I'll come back the next day and be like, what happened on The Walking Dead? I just can't leave the show alone. But when the show first started, the zombies were more kind of like jogging and kind of a bit faster, and then they became slower over time.
Right. I'm so far behind on Walking Dead. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I'm like years behind. I haven't watched it in so long.
Me too.
Well, now they have multiple spin-offs and movies.
Yeah. It'll take me forever to get caught up with all that. I'm still far behind on most of the newer Star Trek incarnations too. So let me finish Star Trek before I get back to Walking Dead. There's a lot of TV shows. I've got like a big long list of TV shows I need to watch, and they're all obviously a lot more time consuming than movies, because a movie you're watching, you're done in like an hour and a half or whatever. But TV shows, like especially they've been on for several years, several seasons, it takes forever to get caught up.
I mean, how often do you have time to sit and binge watch for hours?
Exactly. Yeah, I just don't have time for all that. Some of the shows I make my top priority. Like I will definitely watch Dexter, the Dexter revival, when I still love that show with Michael C. Hall. When Dexter comes back, I'll definitely watch every episode when it first aired. So I do make exceptions, but
I still haven't even seen the original show.
Really?
No, I haven't.
Man, I highly recommend it. That's one of the best shows I've ever seen.
You guys know the classic Lucio Fulci film, City of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
Of course.
I love it. The first time I watched it, I made the huge mistake of I was eating during the gut vomit scene. I was disgusted. That was gross.
That's pretty gruesome.
Sure is.
It's a good, cool effect too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sick. That's awesome.
Definitely. Great movie.
Who would think of that? Who would think of that? Even?
Yeah. Weird ending too. It ends so abruptly. The kid just walking toward him, and it fades to black as she screams. Like I guess the real ending, the footage got damaged or something allegedly, and then so they just had to do that weird edit, and then it's just a weird ending. So who knows what the original ending was going to be? But yeah, I just think it's weird every time I watch it.
You almost thought Catriona McCool or whatever was going to happen too. She started bleeding from the eyes.
Yeah. Fulci knew how to create atmosphere with City of the Living Dead. He could do really good atmosphere.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
You may not have a cohesive plot all the time. But
Yeah. Sometimes the characters aren't all that like compelling or insightful, but you can be damn sure it's going to have some good gore, good special effects, and as you said, great atmosphere and visuals, and genuine scares and suspense.
Yeah, genuinely scary at times.
Definitely. right, so anything else you guys want to add about zombies or?
Can't think of nothing off the top of my head.
The only thing I know is if zombies were real, I definitely would prefer for them to be the slow zombies because I'd outrun them. Faster zombies would be more aggressive and hard to get away from. But if zombies came to my town, they would actually starve to death. So I wouldn't be in any real danger. So, because just kidding, I love my town. But anyway, all right. So next topic is our favorite and least favorite final girls.
Tough one. I think my personal favorite, I've always juggled between two. It'd either be Nancy Thompson or Kirsty from Hellraiser. Those are just kind of like my top two.
Great choice.
It's
not
really
many people talk about Kirsty Cotton from Hellraiser, played by Ashley Lawrence. She doesn't get as much recognition as some of the others, but she definitely fought back.
Good, really good.
Yeah.
Those are my personal top two.
Especially in the original.
Yeah. I was excited when she returned for which sequel was it? Hellseeker, I guess. I was like, oh, cool. Ashley Lawrence is back as Kirsty. And then I saw it and I was like, what was that? I was like, if you're going to bring her back, do it right.
And
whatever.
Kind of wasted opportunity.
Big time.
Boy, those later Hellraiser movies.
Yeah, I can't even do it. I can't.
Me neither. Yeah. The only ones I really love are the first two, and then I think 3 and 4 are entertaining. They're fun. They have their moments, and everything after that, I can pretty much take or leave.
Yeah.
It's just some random news story that has nothing to do with Hellraiser, and they slap Pinhead in there just and call it slap the Hellraiser title on it just to make some money, and that's all it is. I don't think most of them have the puzzle box or any connection to the series. None of the other Cenobites or anything. So just like, I'll pass.
Some of them seem like they just shoehorned them in there, like they weren't even meant to be.
Exactly. Like they just made the movie and then like later add this Hellraiser title and inserted the Pinhead scenes very poorly.
Like I kind of enjoy Hellraiser Inferno kind of for its own thing, like the detective story.
Yeah,
but you could tell that was not meant to be a Hellraiser movie, and they just said, here's one scene with Pinhead. Done.
Yeah, it was unnecessary to put him in it at all. It just.
But yeah, Kirsty's a great final girl.
Definitely.
Probably my favorite when she has the box on Frank's. Oh, you want this?
Yes. Yes, come to daddy.
No. I love Hellraiser. So
me too. The original is by far my favorite.
Absolutely.
So
I kind of like when Pinhead's. What's that?
Good.
I was just gonna say I kind of like when Pinhead's more of a kind of a supporting character, kind of plays a more background role. I don't really like when he's the main focus. As awesome as he is, and Doug Bradley always does a great job. I kind of like when he's just kind of there, on some kind of side mission, and there's other main characters and main villains, and he just kind of plays a more neutral role. Once he kind of became the star of the series, it kind of lost interest. And then, as I said before, they just started cramming him into movies that didn't even need him in. It was just
like 3, he was kind of like the main.
Yeah, he was the main. It was like a slasher villain, basically. He was just. It was his movie,
Yeah. And I could always tell there was a difference between like the original, where even though the Cenobites weren't in it a lot, when they did show up, it was powerful and it was like, oh boy, they're here. But then the later ones,
some of the best, some of my favorite scenes are in the second one too, like with the Cenobite, like beautifully extol. Great lines.
Very much so. I just wish Frank had been in it more. He was such a great villain in the first movie, and he was only in like one brief scene in the second one. Julia Claire Higgins kind of became the main villain.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And Channard, Dr. Channard, of course.
Oh yeah.
So horror fan, who would you say is your favorite final girl?
I think I'll go with Kirsty. I just think she's a unique final girl. She's strong and awesome. I'll go with Kirsty.
Excellent choice.
It's
What about you, Sean?
Laurie Strode, of course, for me. Jamie Lee Curtis version, obviously.
Amen to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to me, she's the ultimate. It's just sort of the most famous, I would say, for good reason. So great in that first film. I love her in the first film the best to me because, she was just a regular girl, the girl next door or whatever, and the way she handles the adversity.
It's very realistic.
Girl putting this forced into the situation and how she handles it,
Definitely.
And Nancy's that's tough because I love Amy Steele and Friday 2. Friday
yes.
Part 2 is great.
Ginny Fields, yeah, she's one of my favorites too. It's hard for me to decide between. Yeah, those are my top 3 as well. Shockingly, yeah, Laurie Strode from Halloween, Ginny Fields from Friday 13 Part 2 is played by Amy Steele, and Nancy Thompson from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I like how Nancy's like really crafty and sets traps for Freddy, and plans on stopping in. And Laurie fights back too, of course, especially in some of the other sequels. She didn't have a whole lot to do in Halloween 2, but she did manage to shoot his eyes out. Then yeah, of course in H2O and even a little bit of Resurrection, and then in the 2018 she really fought back and had a lot to do. It kind of had a Sarah Connor vibe going on. So it's really cool to see her arc throughout all the films, all the character development. And even though 2018 starts fresh, it only follows the first one. And yeah, Nancy Thompson, as I said, was great, and yeah, Ginny is by far my favorite final girl in the Friday 13th film. She's my favorite protagonist of the Jason movies. Her and Tommy Jarvis, right, 2 favorites. Yeah, I currently can't decide between that 3. If I had to pick one, I probably definitely would go with Laurie. But yeah, there's so many good ones. Also like Sally from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She didn't really fight back a whole lot. She just kind of tried to get away, but it really made it scarier because, they're eating her friends, right in front of her at the dinner table, and she's screaming, and she's luckily to get away with her life. And then she's kind of lost her mind towards the end. She's laughing. She's kind of descended into insanity. And this makes all that more scary because you kind of see the whole movie through her eyes. I know Jessica Biel as Erin in the remake was maybe a better character because she was a tough as nails, badass heroine who fought back. A better character, sure, but it kind of made it more scary and had me on the edge of my seat with watching the original Sally, wondering is she going to get up there with her life, and kind of putting yourself in her shoes. Kind of felt like you were really there because
by the end, she totally lost her mind. She's in the truck like, ah!
Yeah, exactly. And also like Sydney in the Scream movies. She's cool. Yeah, there's so many. There's a lot of other good ones, and throughout the Jason movies, we had a lot of great final girls. And of course, Kristen in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4, and then Alice in Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be here all day if I name all my favorites, but we'll just narrow it down to those are my top 3, and Laurie Strode is probably my number 1 favorite overall. So who's everybody's least favorite final girl?
Oh, wow.
I'll go with Maggie from Freddy's Dead. That's what I could
think of. Good choice. There wasn't a whole lot to like about that movie.
Pretty bad, yeah. I think I would go with what's the name? Monica Keener from Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
Like,
that was my choice in that recent tag video. I guess it was the Horribles tag by Nightwatch Zone. It was your least favorite final girl? And that was the one I went with, Monica Keener. Laurie, I guess, from Freddy vs. Jason. Yeah, she was just awful. She pretty much screamed and ran the whole movie. And at the end, it's like, I won't rest until I see him die. Freddy ruined both our pasts, and all of a sudden now she's all badass and stuff. It's like, get the hell out of here. I just want to see Freddy fight Jason. I want to see the two of them fight. I don't want any other characters around. They can watch and provide commentary, but I don't want anybody getting in the way of the fight. I just want to see Freddy and Jason battle it out. I don't want to see somebody else come between, especially not her. If it had been Nancy returning somehow, or maybe Jenny or Tommy Jarvis, that'd have been fine. But yeah, this girl Laurie is like, I'm good.
Agreed. What's your choice, Hellhound?
Well, I used to not really care for Chris Higgins, played by Dana Kimmel in Friday 13 Part 3. Yeah, but I rewatched it recently, and I was like, okay, she's not quite as bad as I remember. I don't know. Like, I kind of do like that. No, most people don't like it, but I kind of do like how she kind of has something of a weird history with Jason. I think that was something a little different, I guess. But she wasn't as bad as I remember. She's still not one of my favorites for sure. But yeah, that's my least favorite. I'm sure it's probably an obvious choice I'm just not thinking of, but I'll probably just go ahead and agree that Laurie from Freddy vs. Jason is my least favorite for now, just to get things moving. Does Tina? Well, I guess Tina from Halloween 5 doesn't count because she doesn't survive till the end, so she's not really a final girl. If she survived until the end, she'd definitely be my least favorite.
Well, she kind of did until the end. Well, yeah, she didn't survive.
Yeah.
Not a survivor girl if you don't survive.
Exactly.
I agree. I forgot about Dana Kimmel. I didn't like her either.
Yeah. Yeah, I never cared for her. And I don't like how she made changes to apparently, she wanted them to tone down the violence and sex scenes and stuff. It was like, it's weird when an actress hasn't has some kind of input, and they went with it too. Like the movie still turned out great. I love Part 3, but it's just weird that they didn't just hire somebody else. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just what I heard. I heard Dana Kimmel suggest tone it down a little bit.
Some random actress
that's
guide how you make the movie.
Exactly. I've never heard of that,
It's one thing an established star like Jamie
that would make sense.
Random one shot.
Yeah, Dana Kimmel having creative control over a Friday 13th movie. It's a little weird.
Who else would be a good contender for worst final girl? Renee Zellweger in Texas Chainsaw Massacre the next year.
Yeah.
Oh, how did I not think of that?
She could have walked out the front door and just left.
I know. Why'd she stay behind? I hate that movie so bad. I can't believe I didn't think of that. I said there was an obvious one I was missing. That was it.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, she was terrible. I despise that movie.
Me too.
She never acts scared at all. She could see her dead friend hanging and be like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Nothing impressed this girl. She didn't react realistically to anything. It was very different from Sally from the first movie. It was just like, nothing so over the top and so campy and ridiculous.
You would never think she'd be an Oscar-winning actress.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
Oh,
I agree with Collector, man. Nancy from the Elm Street remake. Yeah, she was terrible as well.
Yeah.
Everything about that movie was forgettable. Less said about that one, the better. She can't hold a candle to Heather Langenkamp. That's for sure.
No way.
I definitely agree. All right, so I guess our next topic is I guess we can talk about Judas Priest being dropped from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You want to take that one, Sean?
Yeah.
Or no, Iron Maiden. I'm sorry. I said Judas Priest. My bad.
Well, both of them were.
Yeah, it
but
happened to Judas
I
Priest
think
too,
Judas Priest was the previous year.
Yeah, and Iron Maiden was the most recent one. Yeah, both of them belong in there.
Absolutely, both of them need to be in there, or else I seriously doubt the legitimacy of it. I mean, like especially when you had Black Sabbath and you had Metallica way before. Like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden should have been there, but way before Metallica was.
Definitely.
You know,
Metallica wouldn't exist without them, most likely.
I know, right?
And bands
But
like
yeah,
Judas Priest, they were like into pioneers of it.
Exactly. I'm glad Sabbath is on there, but which is my favorite band, and they definitely belong in there. But yeah, Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. I don't take the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame very seriously, and yeah, it's really kind of null and void and invalid of Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and a few other bands that aren't on there, because there's some bands that really have no business being on there. It's like a popularity contest. It's like let's include whichever band's been on TV the most times or whatever, played on the radio. It's like, come on, like go by which one's more influential and and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't put a lot of stock into that whole thing, because yeah, Iron Maiden and Judas Priest definitely belong there. They should have been one of the first ones on there. And I know it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and not the heavy metal one. Fair enough, but they should still be on there regardless.
So heavy metal's an important part of rock.
Exactly. They should have been on there a long time ago. So I heard that they were. Who did Iron Maiden lose to?
I'm not sure.
Whatever
it is, it's not right.
Yeah, they shouldn't lose to anybody.
I know. I think one of them was. I know was in the talks. Was the Go-Go's?
Was who?
The Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's.
Yeah, Iron Maiden. They should be. But
yeah.
Not against Maiden.
Right.
It's tough though, because I do get excited if someone I love like Rush got in there, and I was like excited. I was like, yes, finally, some justice for Rush.
Finally, yeah.
But then you have this crap,
Yeah, there are some great ones which definitely belong there. I agree with James Moss. He says Megadeth should be in the Hall of Fame. I agree. Yeah, Iron Maiden and Judas Priest should be there before Megadeth, though, I think. But they should definitely be there. And Mr. Dan and Horror says Priest deserves Just for Sad Wings of Destiny alone. Yeah, I agree with that. That is my favorite Priest album. Always has been. I love it. Yeah, that was the only album they ever did.
Slayer
yes, definitely.
Needs to be.
For sure.
All four, the main four thrash should be in it.
Exactly. Yeah, they should all be on there.
Definitely. And a lot of those bands credit bands like Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden for what they got into to create what they have.
Right.
Sure.
Definitely.
That was like the next wave, really. You had Sabbath that started the whole thing. You got Maiden and Priest were the next step,
Exactly.
And then all those other like British bands, like at that time.
Right.
And then the third level is like Metallica and Slayer.
Yeah.
And all that.
For sure. Anything else you guys would like to add about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, I'll add one more thing. Judas Priest and Iron Maiden should be in it.
Be in it.
Amen to that. And Bananarama also.
Yeah.
It's not legit without them. I won't take it seriously.
My brother was saying, like, even bands that he loves are in there, but he doesn't think they should be. Like,
the
Bee Gees, he doesn't think they should be in there because they were kind of disco at one point.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part that everybody remembers.
Yeah, there are a lot of bands that I do like that are in there, but they probably don't belong, and definitely not they shouldn't be on there before some of these other bands that very much belong there.
Like I love the Beastie Boys, but should they?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Madonna, she's not really rock. She's great, but
Exactly. Yeah. It's a strange assortment of genres in there for sure. All right, so next topic.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah. You guys ready to discuss some Morbid Angel?
Ooh.
This is the Morbid Hour, after all.
The Morbid Hour. Morbid
Yes. Morbid Hour is upon us.
Angel. I love him.
I actually have a quick and funny story to tell about the first time I heard Morbid Angel.
Okay.
And it was actually the first time that I had ever heard death metal overall.
Wow.
Maybe 13, 14 years ago, I watched this film here, Night of the Demons 2.
Ah.
During the dance party scene, all of a sudden, lights hit, Morbid Angel starts playing, and I was just like, whoa, what is that? Oh, it's brutal. You got the crazy.
It was Vengeance is Mine from the Covenant album, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was either Vengeance is Mine or Rapture.
Yeah, it was both of them, I believe.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was just like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had a great soundtrack in general. But yeah, it was really cool when I first watched that and had a Morbid Angel song. I was like, man, wasn't expecting that. First death metal band I ever heard was Cannibal Corpse, the Eaten Back to Life album, which was their debut. But Morbid Angel quickly became my favorite death metal band for several years. I think all throughout high school, they were my favorite death metal band. You're right up there with Death and Cannibal Corpse and several others. As for my favorite album, it's hard to pick between Altars of Madness, their debut, and Covenant, both from the original David Vincent era. Blessed of the Sick, pretty good too, and I probably like Domination more than most people do. It has a few pretty good songs on it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's underrated.
Different. It is different though.
Yeah, it is. Well, the thing is about the David Vincent era, he had that awesomely raspy hiss on the first on Altars, and then even on Blessed Are the Sick a little bit. His voice kind of turned into a more traditional.
Yes.
I don't want to say generic, but a kind of more like typical death metal growl, where he sounded so unique when they started out. Then he kind of sounded more and more, maybe a little derivative as time went on. And then when he was replaced by Steve Tucker on the excellent Formulas Fatal of the Flesh album, which I really like that album. I do prefer David Vincent overall, for the first couple albums. But I guess replacing with Tucker probably was the right choice at the time because I really love Gateways to Annihilation. That is my favorite album of the Tucker era. It's just awesome. And I also like Heretic a little better than most people do. I think Enshrined by Grace is a pretty good song. There's another song in there that I like a lot. The name escapes me at the moment, but I never cared for the production value. But
the production is a little bit rough.
Yeah,
I like a lot of songs like the string.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I said, I like it better than most people do, probably. And then, of course, we have, Elude, Dividend, and Sanus, which was the return of David Vincent, which I was excited about, but it ended up being the Saint Anger of death metal, and that was just a huge disappointment. So
it's even worse. It's even worse than that.
Yeah,
that's possible.
Yeah, I know. That's I don't know if that's like, maybe that could even be considered an accomplishment. They made something worse than Saint Anger. I mean, that's got to be some kind of achievement unlocked or something. So I was excited when I heard
worst metal albums.
Yeah. But I was excited when Steve Tucker was coming back. So I was like, okay, well, David Vincent came back and it left a lot to be desired. So I still respect the guy. He's doing country now, which is odd, but he's good at it. What I've heard, I mean, I'm not like a big country guy, but I will give it to him. It sounds like country. And he's done a couple other projects that I think are okay. He's a hell of a bass player too. And and so, yeah, I'm glad Steve Tucker came back. And then their newest album, Kingdoms Disdained, is definitely an improvement over Elude, which isn't saying much. But it doesn't really take any risks. Whereas Allude probably took too many risks and didn't sound at all like Morbid Angel or really like death metal should. With some really awful song titles like Beauty Meets Beast and Too Extreme and stuff like that. Then, Kingdom's Disdain kind of had the opposite problem. It was a little too basic and generic and by the numbers. It just kind of played it a little too safe. But it was an improvement, and it probably is my least favorite of the Tucker album. Sorry to say. I'm really sad. It really saddens me to say that. But, I know they're better. Their best days are behind them, but I still love to see them.
Probably just wanted to show that we're still death metal.
Yeah, true.
But that shouldn't have been enough.
Yeah, you'd think so. But yeah, that's my take on the band.
Well, the first time I heard Altars of Madness, I was blown away. I'm blanking on the names, of course. I believe the drummer is Pete Sandoval.
Pete Sandoval.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His drumming was insane.
Yes.
It was
lightning fast.
Yeah, it was crazy. One of my favorite songs is Chapel of Ghouls.
Yes.
Like that, once it gets to that doomy part, and then he's like, Demon.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Attack the church.
Crush the holy priest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sandoval is easily my favorite death metal drummer. He's just insane. He actually played faster than a drum machine one time. They sped it up really fast. He actually out-drummed the drum machine, which is just impressive. He has some serious chops. And Trey Adsikto is one of my favorite guitarists as well. He's probably my second favorite death metal guitarist next to Chuck Schuldiner.
He's wise, really creative, I think.
Yeah.
Great.
Integrity 101's in the chat. He said he saw Morbid Angel, Pantera, and Slayer in 2001. I bet that was a kick-ass show.
I saw them with Pantera, but it was Anthrax and Pantera.
Oh, wow.
And, they opened for Morbid Angel.
Nice. Then you got songs like Damnation, which is extremely fast.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But Covenant album is also one of my favorites too. That song God of Emptiness, where it kind of had that experimental vocals. He was like, bow
to me faithfully.
I like it. But yeah, those I guess I'd go with Altars of Madness just because I really like that demonic sounding hiss of a voice, and it's just so fast. But I think they're both excellent albums.
He did some weird stuff in like Domination too, like eyes to see, ears to hear.
Yeah,
like
eyes to see. Yeah.
And Steve Tucker, I guess I'd go with Gateways to Annihilation. There was a lot more of those cool sludgy riffs that were brutal and a lot of fast songs too. And I actually really enjoyed Formulas to the Flesh as well.
Yeah. I love Trey Adsikto's really Lovecraftian melodic solos. He's a very unique player, He's always like, he always finds ways to keep it fresh,
Like a great slow one on the Gateways that I love is He Who Sleeps.
That's a good one.
Very slower, but really cool.
I think Summoning Redemption is my favorite song in that album. That's the first track, I believe. And I really like Immortal Rights from Altars of Madness. This is the opening track on the album. I used to be able to play that on guitar. Very, very cool song. Awesome riff. Awesome vocals by David Vincent. Pristine drumming. And Richard Brunel was their secondary guitarist on the first two albums. He was a great player as well. Then later they got Eric Rutan. And sometimes they've just been a three-piece. A few times they've been a trio, like in Covenant and I think Formulas. They were a three-piece as well.
Well, they did a great job within Covenant.
Big time.
Some of the best stuff.
Yeah.
Matt, that was the first time I heard heard death metal was Morbid Angel when I saw the video for Rapture. And whoa, this is awesome! Like, this is seriously like evil sound. I never heard that kind of evil sound before.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets me every time. Matt Divot asked, "Do you guys like Skull Fist?"
I think they had a song on the movie Deathgasm.
Yeah, I'm
Haven't
not
heard them.
familiar with them. I'm not really sure who they are. I don't think I've ever heard of them. I'll have to check it out.
What do you think? What do you think about Blessed Are the Sick?
I really like that album too. It was different sound than Altars, but it had its own sound as well, and I just really liked some of the riffs and vocals, and it was got real good.
See, I like his vocals on that one the best, but even though maybe it is more like the traditional
It's a close one.
death metal vocalist, and it definitely had better production value for sure. Like the first one is Alta's Man, is very raw sounding.
Yeah.
It sounds almost like one of the older Slayers, like before Raining Blood or something.
Yeah, I like how each album sounds different from all the others. They do something different each time, which is kind of rare to see in a lot of death metal bands. You know, each one kind of is a fresh take, and David Vincent era especially, his vocals sounded different on each album, which was cool.
Yeah,
they always found ways to keep it original and keep it exciting, mix it up a little bit.
yeah, you're right. Each album sounds totally different, has its own flavor.
Yeah.
Like Covenant was very like in your face satanic stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Big time.
Beat you over the head with it.
Yeah. Lots of lyrics about witchcraft and ancient cultures and Satanism and demonology and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a great
stuff.
Great stuff.
I think that was their most successful album, wasn't it? Covenant was like
yeah,
most likely.
Yeah,
I think that was their kind of the most well known too. I think this is one most people talk about.
Swan to the Black. That's one of my favorites.
Yes.
The first album is probably my best for the fast. My favorite for like the faster songs, like Suffocation, Immortal Rites, Maze of Torment.
Yeah.
Has some great guitar work on Maze of Torment. Probably my favorite.
Yes.
I agree.
Big time.
A great catalog.
Oh
yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, I agree with you. I like Heretic probably more than most people do.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, if it's really over the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I dig it.
Like Set Enshrined by Grace when I first heard that.
Yeah, I love that song. Yeah, I definitely like it way better than the most recent too, of course.
The drums are really over the top on that, though. Maybe too much.
Yeah.
Very evil sounding, though. It accomplishes that.
Yeah, very blasphemous.
Yeah.
Very sacrilegious.
Very.
Do you guys remember when Beavis and Butthead used to react to music videos?
Yeah.
I remember when they reacted to Morbid Angel, and he was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, they did God of Emptiness, and they Butthead imitated David Vincent's clean vocals. That the deep bow to me part at the end. That was
That's another one. I was like, "This is sick." There's a demon walking through the church, and shit.
Yeah,
they get much more blasphemous than that.
Yeah.
They're on that a couple times, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Beavis and Butthead always usually bashed death metal too, which is weird because
Yeah.
you think they always liked really aggressive, really violent, really heavy stuff, and they always talked about how bad the death metal vocals were and stuff, which is funny.
I love old Beavis and Butthead.
Me too.
It's classic. I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah, I can't wait till it comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's coming back.
Yeah, love that show.
Some of these stuff used to crack me up because they have some of the worst videos like you've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
No,
Say what? I was just gonna say I love that one video of the Grim. I can't remember what song it was. Grim Reaper. The band was on there a few times, and I remember
Grim
the one
Reaper.
video where
See You in Hell. Was it See You in Hell?
Huh?
Was it the song See You in Hell?
I think so.
Grim Reaper.
The one where Butthead says, I think that's supposed to be Wolverine. It's like some guy like a bear costume or something that's got the claws, and Beavis is like, no, that is not Wolverine, and they argue about it. That's a really funny segment.
I love it. Their random bursts of headbanging was always so funny. Just look over and they're like,
yeah.
You could say a couple of bands almost that being on that show had a lot to do with their success, like White Zombie.
Yeah, exactly.
Pantera even.
Beavis and Butthead helped them get recognition,
Yeah.
Might have led to some of them being, discovered by more people.
It's a good thing.
Definitely.
It's not good when they bash you, though.
Yeah. Some of my favorite bands they bashed.
Yeah.
They
Really?
bashed Death. Yeah, they bashed a lot of power metal bands. They always talk negatively about. They didn't seem to like Iron Maiden-y sounding bands. They did like Iron Maiden. They loved Iron Maiden. That episode where they toured the jail and the guy's got an Iron Maiden tattoo.
Yeah.
But it's like Maiden rules, But then, but bands that kind of sounded reminiscent of Iron Maiden, they always seem to talk down on, which is interesting.
Fear no evil, he says at the end of the song.
Yeah, Fear no evil. Yeah, I think that's right. Anybody else have anything to add about Morbid Angel? Or
They're a great band. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I look forward to the next album.
Likewise, I guess it'll start with an L because all their albums are in alphabetical order. Altars, Blessed, Covenant.
I never realized that.
Yeah, because Entangled by Chaos was after Domination. That was a live album. And then after Elude, they had another live album, Juvenilia. And then the K, of course, was Kingdom's Disdain. So the next one will be an L. Probably be Legacy of Sacrilege or something. I don't know. I'm sure they'll come up with something cool.
Yeah, but I hope that the next one is a little bit more creative, like you said.
I hope so, too.
Not generic.
Yeah.
I'll check it out, though. Sure.
Yeah, me too. I'll definitely give it a listen.
I want to see them in concert again.
Hell yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, next time they come around here where I live, I'll definitely be checking it out.
Unfortunately, I never saw them with David Vincent.
Oh, yeah. You saw them with Tucker?
So it was Steve Tucker.
Yeah.
So it was great. They did do a lot of the classic songs.
So, yeah, Tucker. What's weird because when they do God of Emptiness live with Tucker, he doesn't sing the clean part, the bow to me verse. At least I don't think so. At least I haven't found any videos on YouTube of him doing it anyway. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he does. Yeah. Which is weird, because I think that's the best part, kind of.
Yep.
think it'd be the easiest part.
Yeah, you'd think so. But yeah, David Vincent did have that really, really naturally deep kind of baritone voice. When you watch him talking in interviews, you know, his voice is just very, very low and demonic sounding anyway. So, but yeah, I'm sure Tucker could have pulled it off.
Yeah.
All right, so the next topic, I guess you guys want to talk about some Scream Factory, some of your favorite Scream Factory releases and movies you have on Scream Factory, movies you have on DVD, Blu-ray, or movies you want to see on the Scream Factory. Give their, movies that haven't been released yet that you want to see get the Scream Factory treatment and stuff like that.
This was kind of a tough one for me because I have like 90-something Scream Factory releases. So I tried to pick out a few that stand out. This is one that stands out. Army of Darkness.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
I paid a decent price for this. But got a couple cuts of the film, theatrical, director's cut, and international / television. That was a good one.
I don't have that one yet. The Army of Darkness.
I need to get that one.
Definitely. I always hated how when I first bought the DVD, I had it on VHS, of course, but when I first bought the DVD, it was the director's cut. And I was like, oh, cool. It'll have the original ending, the apocalyptic doomsday ending, and it'll probably have the S-Mart ending too, which is actually the second filmed ending. The original ending was the end of the world ending. I was like, cool, it'll have both endings. It only had the end of the world one. I was like, well, it doesn't have the S-Mart one, so I had to buy another DVD of the original, version just to have the S-Mart ending. So I had to have 2 copies of it. So I'm sure that Scream Factory release probably has both of them. I'm going to assume. Yeah, I figured it would.
Some of these deleted scenes I actually thought should have been kept in the movie.
Yeah.
Like the scene where Ash goes and finds Henry the Red and asks him to fight with him. And,
Yeah. Yeah, that was on the DVD too, I think. And also the alternate opening. Bruce Campbell as Ash was like, I now believe in a living evil, that was kind of cool.
I always thought that opening would probably throw people off if they saw that and said, oh man, this is going to be a dark movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it wasn't humorous enough for the more comedic take on the direction that movie went in. So, as a horror fan, did you say you had 90 Scream Factory movies?
90s?
Wow.
Oh, yeah, about 90 something.
Wow.
The box.
Wow, you have more than I do. Awesome.
Very
I thought about doing a collection video and try to make it under 30 minutes. Go through them quickly.
That'd be cool.
Definitely.
One of my top 5 favorite horror movies I got, and that was Night of the Demons, the original.
I've got that release. Awesome.
I love this movie. I actually have a DVD copy that I got at Best Buy back when Best Buy still sold cool movies. But yeah, the Blu-ray, love it. Awesome.
I've got that on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray.
I got the Steelbook.
Oh, wow.
Edition.
Awesome.
Should have grabbed that. So
very cool. I should have grabbed all my Scream Factory movies before we did this video, but I just didn't for whatever reason. They're in the other room, but I'll have to make a video showing my Scream Factory collection someday.
Yeah, you should.
I
grabbed a pretty stack.
Nice.
Here's one that I very much enjoy. Scars of Dracula.
Yes.
Love it. I really dug this movie here.
It's underrated.
Yeah.
I like because Christopher Lee as Dracula has a lot of screen time and a lot of dialogue. He's kind of the star of that movie. Some of the other sequels, he's barely in it and has like no lines,
Yeah.
So I really like Scars of Dracula. He's really brutal in that one too. And he stabs that chick to death. It's weird to see Dracula use a knife, but
I love that.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of a Hammer Dracula marathon right now for like the 50th time. I've seen those movies more than I've seen my reflection in the mirror. But I figured it'd be fun to have another marathon.
He burns his sword against the clothes.
Yeah.
Got any more?
What's that?
Yeah, I got.
Passing it off.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the first release from Scream Factory is
that was the
one
first,
I was most looking forward to. It's like, oh my god, it's finally happening! Okay, I was like,
that was the first movie I ever got from Scream Factory. Was Halloween 2, and I was so excited it had the television version.
Mm-hmm.
The ending where Jimmy Lloyd is, or Jimmy, I guess he didn't have a last name, is in the ambulance with her at the end. I was like, that's cool. So I had to get that, and that was the first Scream Factory. I didn't really know what Scream Factory was at the time, but I did turn out to have a few Shout Factory DVDs, like The Stepfather and stuff.
This one I got just because of that awesome cover.
Yeah,
love it. Awesome.
I thought about getting that myself once the Steelbook. I bought Halloween 2 so many times. I probably should have got it, but
Here's another one for you. Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
Nice.
Yes, I just watched that earlier today.
I like this one, but I actually prefer Scars of Dracula a little more, personally.
No lines in that
Dracula.
One.
Yeah. I think Scars of Dracula has the more entertaining Christopher Lee performance, but Prince of Darkness might be a technically better movie overall. It's a close one. It's definitely a close one.
I like Barbara Shelley in that a lot.
Yes.
She almost steals the movie.
Yeah, she's great. As Diana.
Did a great job, yeah.
Wait, she was Helen, right? The one that turned into a vampire?
Yes.
Yeah. I said Diana, my bad. I got the names backwards. Yeah, Barbara Shelley was great in that. One of the magazines I got recently had an interview with her in it.
Rest in peace, right? She just passed away, was it last year or earlier this year? Well, since we're talking about the Hammer ones, I think this is the most amazing cover I've ever seen.
I love that.
Of Dracula.
David Peel. Baron Munster. I need to get that because the only Brides of Dracula release I have is the one in that Hammer Horror 8 film collection with Curse of the Werewolf and Evil Frankenstein and all that.
Yeah,
that's the only version I have of Brides of Dracula.
Great release, definitely. Highly recommend it.
I need to get that real bad. I don't think I have any Hammer movies on Blu-ray. Come to think of it.
Oh, I've
got them all. I've got just about all of them.
Kinds of extras.
Yeah, I've got most of them on DVD and a few on VHS, but I don't have Blu-ray. I don't think, unless I'm not thinking of
another one. League of the Zombies.
That's a good one. I don't have that either.
Let's see. I was going to mention something in Scars of Dracula. I was watching it for the first time, and something that made me chuckle for some reason was when Christopher Lee was going to bite the woman's neck, and she had the cross, and he kind of just walks away, and the guy comes in, he's like, the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Cross.
I have yet to see this one as well. Frankenstein created woman.
Ooh, man, that's a good one.
That's one of my favorite of the Hammer Frankenstein movies, right up there with Curse and Revenge. And
that's another great cover there. That's really cool.
Yeah, I need to get that.
But I'll get around to watching it soon.
I highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm. You'll definitely enjoy it.
How come in Brides of Dracula, when Baron Munster's chained to the wall, his leg chained up, why doesn't he just turn into a bat and fly away? Is the metal of the chain made of some kind of unholy metal, like silver or something, that prevents him from using his supernatural powers, or what. He could just. In the first movie, Van Helsing says vampires don't turn into bats. It's a common fallacy. But in the second movie, we do see that David Peele's character, the Baron, does turn into a bat. So why didn't he just do that and escape? I wonder that every time I watch it.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's just some kind of holy metal preventing.
Well, in horror of Dracula, he says they don't even turn into bats, remember?
Yeah, he says it's a common fallacy, but then he also says we haven't really scratched the surface, or we just begun to scratch the surface on vampire lore, because they do turn into bats in some of the sequels. Even in that movie, Brides of Dracula, the Baron turns into a bat. So I don't know why he didn't just fly away. And also, why didn't Jonathan Harker stake Dracula's bride at the beginning? He goes downstairs and he sees Dracula in the coffin and the girl. He stakes the girl first. Like, why not stake the Dracula for take
then
out
the movie would be over, you know?
Yeah.
Can't have that.
Something better. I don't know. But it's still an awesome movie, of course. And also, it looked like they were breathing. Do vampires breathe? I guess maybe in that universe they do. I don't know. I guess it depends on what take it is. And he also has a reflection in the water at the beginning of Dracula's Risen from the Grave. But I guess you could say that it's only mirrors where they don't cast a reflection because they're silver, maybe a holy metal. I don't know. Maybe he does still have a reflection in water, so who knows? Or maybe they didn't even establish a reflection thing in the Hammer movies. Or in
it's
that
a cool
movie.
visual, though, is reflection
in
the water.
I love it, yeah. But it's just funny because, vampires aren't usually supposed to have a reflection. But maybe they can in the water. I don't know. Sorry, just had to go off on that brief tangent. I could talk about the Hammer movies all day. We'll have to save that for
I know, that's what I'm saying. We should save that for another
future video. Yeah, because I have a lot to say when it comes to that.
What else you got? Horror Fame 88.
Next up, Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Yeah, I got that one.
I got the Halloween 2 and 3 back when Scream Factory first started, because I think they were Shout Factory before.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But then they did Scream Factory, and they came out with those, and I was over the moon about them. I'm like, best ways to own the movies. For sure.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I remember thinking, like, are they ever going to come out with a special edition of Halloween 2? Because it was so long, years and years, and they came out with every other Halloween movie with special features on DVD and Blu-ray and all that. When are they going to do Halloween 2? Yeah.
Exactly. It's a great release for sure. They always go all out and then some. And I love how they always have an awesome new cover with great artwork, and then if you reverse it, it has the original VHS artwork. Like that's something that I would have thought would have been like a pipe dream. Like in the early days of DVD, a lot of DVDs, the original VHS cover art was awesome, and a lot of DVDs had this new crappy looking art that looked like, I don't know, some ugly Sci-Fi Channel original movie crap or something. And then the Blu-rays, the Scream Factory, Arrow Video, and Blue Underground, all that, all often have a brand new, awesome artwork as well as the original VHS. It's more than I could ever ask for. I couldn't even imagine. It's unfathomable.
I love that they do that.
Yeah, they really outdo themselves. And then, of course, when they have a big release that comes with a poster and a NECA Real Toys action figure from the movie and stuff, it's just amazing. It's a great time to be a horror fan, thanks to Scream Factory.
Yes, indeed. And if you love physical media.
Yeah.
Like we
great
do.
For collectors.
Next up, Demon Knight.
Nice.
Ooh, Tales
James Moss was just talking about the Tales from the Crypt Keeper cartoon in the comments. So it's funny that.
Love this movie.
Me too. I like Bordello Blood too, more than most people do. It's not as good as Demon Knight, but
very underrated. I think.
Yeah, Billy Zane was awesome in Demon Knight. He was just hilarious.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Tales from the Crypt.
Here's another one of my favorites, The Howling.
Yes.
Another excellent release.
I just got that fairly recently.
I love that art too. It's really
Me
good.
too. It's awesome. Eddie Quist with his face all burned from the acid and stuff.
Yep.
Great extras on there too. I love the horrors, hallowed grounds thing.
Yeah.
All the locations.
For sure.
The Howling's my favorite werewolf movie. That's the one I watched.
Me too.
Yes, me too.
Love the atmosphere in it, and it's so good.
Oh my god, the atmosphere is great.
The transformation effects and the werewolves look great too. I love bipedal werewolves. I prefer, a werewolf on two legs to a quadrupedal one on all fours. Something scarier and unsettling about, like a wolf creature walking or running towards you. I'm sure they can get on all fours and run after you too, but it's really cool seeing them like walk towards you on,
I like how they show them standing on like the hind legs.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent costumes, excellent special effects. I can't praise that movie enough. Very underrated performance by Robert Picardo as Eddie.
Yeah. It's creepy as hell in that the beginning scene with Karen.
Yeah,
Booth
in
there.
the shop.
I only own like 3 of the Howling sequels, 2, 3, and 4. John, if you would like to go ahead and show another one, I'm gonna go grab 2 or 3 more.
All right, let's see this. Well, here's a non-horror, the Mad Max.
Love that movie.
Maximum Force of the Future. I love
Road
that
Warrior
cover. That's badass.
That is a great cover. My VHS has that same cover. I also really love the Road Warrior. The second film, which is probably my favorite Mad Max movie.
Yeah, I hope they do a Scream Factory of that. I don't think they have.
I hope so.
All right. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to get the first movie, and it's in my top 5 as well. But I got the sequel, Return of the Living Dead Part 2. It's fun.
Yeah, I need to get it.
Definitely more goofy than the first one, but overall still a fun watch, I think. So.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. I got both of those recently. Return of the Living Dead Part 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, the Scream Factory version. Yeah, Part 2 definitely ups the comedy. There's a lot of slapstick and stuff in it. And it is a lot sillier and campier. But, it's pretty fun. I would have preferred more like stronger continuity with the original and maybe even some more returning characters because we have James Karen and Tom Matthews coming back playing different characters. But
yeah, I wish they had.
It's okay. Yeah.
I just don't think the zombies were really too much of a threat in this movie. They were so goofy and like they'll get distracted by the TV and be like,
yeah, and stepping on each other when they're coming out of the graves at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
The first one, I think, is the most fun zombie movie ever, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. It's my favorite zombie movie, too. James Moss is leaving. See you later, James. Thanks for
Peace out, dude.
Thanks for joining us on the Morbid Hour. Until next time.
Well, this is the last one I have in my stack here. Anyway, I could go and grab the vampire.
Nice. I need to get that as well.
Love
I
this
have not
movie.
seen that one.
Me too. That's my favorite.
When I get into Hammer, you gotta see that one.
Definitely.
I love the artwork on this one.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The disco, cool, man, right?
Beautiful. Yeah, it's my favorite of the Karnstein trilogy.
Yeah, definitely. Even the inside cover is really cool too. That.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Yeah, they always do a great job with all their releases. Vampire Lovers is probably my favorite vampire movie from Hammer, aside from the Dracula movies, of course.
Yeah,
I would say.
I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah. Ingrid Pitt is awesome.
Yeah,
I wish she would have been in the others.
I know. I wish she was in Lust for a Vampire.
Yeah, me too. I heard she didn't like the script, you know.
I don't blame her.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine why.
With their Rent a Dracula dude.
Yeah.
Count Karnstein.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I laugh every time I watch that. Like,
Me too.
This guy.
Yeah, it's definitely hilariously cheesy.
I think John Carpenter is all three of our favorite directors, right? Like he's our favorites.
It's definitely mine for sure.
Yeah,
By far.
I gotta agree. I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I've loved
No
just
one's
about
had-
everything one's done.
Yeah, no one's had a longer string of like classics.
Yeah, hit after hit after hit. Very consistent, very impressive catalog of movies.
Yeah,
He's a great composer too.
definitely. I think I had every Carpenter movie on DVD and upgraded them to Blu-ray, but this is one of my top favorites, like top 3 personally. Escape from New York. I
Love it.
Yes.
Snake Plissken
Snake
is one
Plissken.
of my favorite movie characters.
Me too. I always love Kurt Russell.
I haven't got the Scream Factory one yet, though.
Me neither. I've got it on DVD, but I don't have the Scream Factory Blu-ray.
I even have his eye patch. I mean,
Nice.
just love the film. That was the last one I grabbed.
Snake Plissken, what a great character, you know.
Like, he's so badass. I'd love to see him fight Michael Myers. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
The best John Carpenter
That'd be
villain. And,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Can
What
you
might be
imagine?
the
He could
best-
do that. He could actually do that.
Yeah. Yeah. The coolest John Carpenter hero and the coolest John Carpenter villain, you know?
Wow. Mind blown. I could just see it.
I wish they'd
He
make
could
a
do
third
the
film.
score and everything.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. He could be the next Loomis in the next Halloween.
I like the movie Ghost of Mars, but I believe that was supposed to be the third one, but it didn't work out.
Really?
That was supposed to be the third Escape film?
I believe it was going to be Escape
Oh.
from Earth or something.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, cool.
I've
Yeah,
heard
I
a
remember
few-
hearing about Escape from Earth. Yeah, maybe I do remember something like that. Now I think about it. I wish they would make a third film, Escape from Chicago, or you know, something like that. Be cool. I guess they're making a remake now, but
Are they really?
yeah. But whatever.
I think a sequel could work. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd like to see a more older, grizzled
Yeah. That'd be
Snake
awesome.
Plissken. He's already grizzled as it is.
Yeah. Hey, cool to see an aging snake, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know some people have wanted Kurt Russell's son to play Snake Plissken because he looks so much like him. But I think he denied that and was like, "No, I'm not going to do that."
Yeah. I'd rather that than a remake, but you know.
Yeah.
But getting Russell back would be the ideal thing to do, in my opinion.
Definitely.
That's the thing. Would you have Carpenter do it? I don't know.
Hopefully, yeah. I don't know if he's really directing movies still. His last one was, Ghost of Mars could have been a little better. And then I guess his last movie was The Ward, I believe.
Yeah, I
which
think that was
also
his
wasn't one of
last
his-
one. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't one of his better ones. But I mean, Ghost of Mars and The Ward are pretty much the only two Carpenter movies I can think of that aren't like at least, great, I mean, most of them are masterpieces, but, even like the lesser John Carpenter films are still very, very good.
Mhm.
His worst movies are better than most directors' best movies,
Definitely.
because the man can do no wrong, in my opinion. He's just a genius.
Sure. And I don't think it that's the one thing that's so great. Like another thing that makes him so great is that he composes the score. Like, who does that?
Yeah, he did the Halloween theme, of course, which might be the most iconic
One
horror
of the
movie theme
greatest
ever.
scores in the history of horror. He came up
Big
with
time.
It's not just the director.
I think the fog score is just like hauntingly beautiful.
Yes.
Creepy. And
Yeah.
Very eerie and ominous.
I love the fog.
Me too.
All those scores, like Christine, that's a great score.
Big time.
Prince of Darkness, really cool.
In the Mouth of Madness. That had kind of a rock tone. I like that one.
Yeah. I wonder why he didn't do the thing. Like, why didn't he do the score?
Yeah. Yeah, I wondered that myself.
I mean, it's a great score, Ennio Morricone.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
didn't he do it? Yeah.
I think the Thing is like one of the only movies that ever actually had one scene that kind of made me like, oh my god. And that was the blood test scene when he's like,
Yeah.
Yes.
black and he's like, wow.
That gets me
Oh.
every time.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming the first time I watched it.
When's it gonna happen? Even even watching it now, it'll get me. I know it's coming. It's like, when is it coming? That's a great scene. Talk about suspense.
Oh gosh, yeah. And probably the best practical effects I've ever seen in any movie, period.
Yeah.
All right, is there any other Scream Factory releases you guys wanted to share, or any closing thoughts or anything?
That was the last one I picked up.
Okay. Because I just wanted to say that I'd love for them to do a Nightmare on Elm Street box set like they did with Halloween and Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that'd be great. Have all the Freddy movies in one collector's set and have all kinds of special features and stuff. That'd be really, really cool. Yeah, I would definitely dig that.
Make it happen.
Yeah. I wish they'd do a Hammer Dracula box set too. You know, all the I guess Scream Factory or whoever doesn't have the rights to all the movies, but they released quite a few of them. So it'd be cool if they did a whole box set of all the Hammer Draculas and Frankensteins.
Yeah, because Warner Brothers owns some of them. That's
Yeah.
why they can't.
Right.
Like Horror Dracula.
Right.
Dracula's Risen from the Grave.
Because I know Anchor Bay owned a few of them too, but I guess now I can't keep up with who has the rights to all that stuff. It just
and was stuck with those crappy Blu-ray releases that
Yeah.
don't have any special features.
bare bones. It'd be cool if they did a
Come
box set.
on, you can't get a Horror Dracula.
Yeah,
Doesn't
come
have a
on.
special edition.
Yeah, I would love that. There's a lot of other movies I'd like to see to get the Scream Factory treatment, but
One of them.
That would be my number one Horror Dracula.
yeah,
I don't own From Beyond on Scream Factory Blu-ray. I got it on DVD, but I wanted it on Blu-ray.
Oh,
I just got that recently. I got that somewhat recently. Because the only copy I had before that was VHS. I never did have it on DVD. I hate that DVD cover.
Yeah,
It's like some sci-fi original movie crap. It's just terrible.
Yeah, that is bad.
Because I love the original VHS cover, and I love the new Scream Factory artwork too on the Blu-ray. So I did pick up that one a few months ago. I was on a Scream Factory kick, and I went and bought a whole bunch of them from FYE and eBay and stuff.
Like I have so many collection videos that I want to get to. One of them being my Reanimator collection. I have so many copies of the first Reanimator. I got the laser disc, for God's sake.
Dude,
Nice.
DVD covers and crazy.
Wow.
I just got the Arrow Reanimator.
I need to get
I
that.
like-
It's a little pricey on eBay.
Yeah, it is.
But
they
I want
got
the one
that-
that comes with a comic.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's an Arrow or a video release, the one that comes with a comic. It's definitely to spend some serious bucks on that.
We could do that on another show, the Arrow video.
Yeah.
Something.
Arrow video appreciation.
It's great stuff too.
When y'all watch Reanimator, do you ever just find yourself saying Herbert's lines with him?
Oh yeah,
all the time.
Who's gonna believe a talking head? Get a job at a sideshow.
I know you're
my favorite horror performance.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's up there for sure. Right up there with Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead and.
So much fun.
Indeed.
Yo, I give you life.
Yeah. Love that line.
I love that scene where he catches Dr. Carl Hill in the act. He's like, I'm very disappointed in you. You steal the secret of life and death, and here you are trysting with the bubble-headed co-ed.
Yeah. You're not even a second-rate scientist. Jeffrey Combs is awesome. He makes everything good. Like, he can make any movie way better than it already would be without him. He's just one of those actors that's just so enjoyable to watch.
Definitely.
He always puts his all in everything. All right, so was there any other topics? I know there was the weakest movies from our favorite directors, but I already mentioned The Ward and Ghosts of Mars from John Carpenter, which again I don't think either one of those are terrible per se. There's obviously not up to par with some of his earlier efforts.
If you want to talk John Carpenter, Escape from L.A.
Oh yeah. I still think Kurt Russell was great in that. And I like the scene where Bruce Campbell plastic surgery. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. He goes surfing with Peter Fonda and stuff. It's very, very out there. But we'll say the visuals are pretty cool and had good effects. But yeah, it wasn't near as good as Escape from New York, which is a shame. But, I do wish it could have got a better sequel.
Too campy for me.
Very much so. Too over the top.
I love the darkness of the original Escape from New York. Like, everything's lit by fires in the street.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool.
It's very dark and very, like, kind of surreal. Escape from LA had a bigger budget and was kind of more, like, mainstream Hollywood. Had that kind of feel, kind of overglossed, typical, kind of MTV style. Yeah, I agree. I will say that the LA setting shined through a little more. You could definitely tell it wasn't LA, whereas Escape from New York, the budget, you couldn't always tell it was New York. It just kind of looked like any city. You couldn't always tell it was New York City. Because the Statue of Liberty in the poster, I don't even know if it showed the Statue of Liberty in the movie, not like in the main, the main scenes or anything, maybe from like a distance or something. But it's not a big deal. I think the low budget actually kind of helps to its advantage for the most part. But that's pretty much the only
keep things dimly lit, that saves money. Yeah,
exactly.
Speaking about the cool atmosphere, I have to show that much.
Very much. And Donald Pleasance was the president.
Yeah. Adrian Barbeau.
Yes.
A lot of great. Carpenter knew how to get a cast.
Big, definitely.
Absolutely.
I agree with Big K. He says Escape from LA was dumb fun. That's what Carpenter was going for. I agree with that. It's not a boring movie, at least. I'll give it that. It's entertaining. And yeah, it is very stupid, but it is enjoyable if you're in the right mood. You can kind of laugh at it and but it does make me roll my eyes.
But for me, it's like that's not fun for me.
Yeah.
I want a sequel that lives up to the original.
True.
I don't want a silly ass campy one. Yeah. Not when the first one. Well, I mean, there have been some cases where that worked, like TCM2.
Yeah.
For me, but
yeah, it works sometimes. But yeah, you're right. I would have definitely preferred a truer sequel to Escape from New York. Mr. Dan says Isaac Hayes was apparently high a lot. Yeah. He was a pretty cool villain.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Show up the
Definitely.
car with the chandelier.
Yeah.
The chandelier thing was on the front.
I would totally drive that.
That was pimp.
Yeah.
I love the character Cabby. I think he's like one of the only glimmers of just like he's always happy in situations.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, definitely.
A great cast. Yeah. Harry Dean Stanton,
Big time.
Ernest Borgnine.
Lee Van Cleef.
Right? Oh yeah. Lee
Yeah.
Van Cleef, right?
He was in a lot of my favorite westerns. So it's really cool to see him play that role in Escape from New York. Yeah, Ernest Borgnine as Cabby. He's always good. Yeah, great movie, great cast, great scenery, great score.
I think in that one, Jamie Lee did some of the loudspeaker talk.
I think you're right. Yeah,
Like
the voiceover at the beginning. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like she did in Halloween 3.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Oh, Nancy
Loomis.
Marion Crane, the girl that played her. is
Oh,
good too.
Janet Leigh.
Escape. She's in Escape from New York. From Halloween to,
Yeah.
Marion Crane, Nurse Marion Crane. What's her real name? Nancy
Oh,
Stevens. Nancy
I was thinking. I was thinking Psycho. Yeah.
Tom Atkins is in
Yeah,
Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great cast.
Yep.
Definitely.
What is your favorite role of Tom Atkins? Mine would be in Night of the Creeps.
Mine too, hands down.
Hmm.
He was so fun and he was so badass and just hilarious in that.
Probably have to agree
It's
with
Miller.
Thrill me. Thrill me.
Bad news is there.
Moment of video.
It's good in the fog too.
Yeah. Halloween 3, of course. I like him in the My Bloody Valentine remake as well. And it's weird because somebody told me that he passed away years ago, and then I was like, oh, that sucks. I really liked him. Then My Bloody Valentine remake came out, and I watched it, and I was like, that's Tom Atkins. I was like, awesome. He's still alive. That's great. I've always been a big fan of him. He's another one of those actors who he's just always good. He was in Creep Show as well. The Abusive Father. Yeah, he's always great. I love Tom Atkins.
I think he was in the first Lethal Weapon movie too. He was Danny Glover's friend.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
Definitely has that cool charm.
Big time.
So worst movies by great director. You could say some of Wes Craven stuff.
Like Cursed.
like Cursed. Or Hills Have Eyes too.
Yeah, oh gosh. The dog has a flashback.
It was barking. It was just like flashback.
Yeah, that's a very disappointing follow-up. That was one of the first movies I ever had on DVD when DVD first came out back in the day.
Yeah, he had a few stinkers.
Yeah, very much so. He wasn't as consistent as Carpenter. But Craven's still probably my second favorite overall.
But the great ones are great.
Yeah, with the great, yeah. Last House on the Left, the original Hills Have Eyes, Nightmare on Elm Street, of course. Serpent in the Rainbow. I even kind of like Shocker. I know it's really stupid.
I love Shocker.
Yeah. It's good, cheesy fun, It's very 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like People Under the Stairs,
Yeah. Shocker's one of those movies for me where like I'm very aware it doesn't make sense, and it's like there's no rules to this movie, but I can't help but have a fun time with it.
Exactly. He tried to create another Freddy, I think, because he lost the rights to the character or something. So Horace Pinker, played by Mitch Pileggi, was kind of like another Freddy. But it was a cool premise, an executed killer coming back for revenge, but they kind of overcomplicated it a little bit. There's a little too much going on. But I like it. I have to be in a certain mood for it. Turn my brain off and watch it. But it's flawed, but I think it's pretty entertaining.
Great soundtrack too.
Oh, big time, big time.
Yeah, it was a cool soundtrack.
Yeah, Alice Cooper and stuff. Ed Divid is heading out. Says, "Have a good night, guys. Looking forward to the next Morbid Hour." Me too.
Yeah.
See you later, Matt. Have a good night. Big K says, "Piranha 2 by James Cameron is a bad film by a good director."
Yeah.
As James Cameron himself says, that's the best movie ever made about killer flying fish. I rented that on VHS years ago, and I was like, what? I was like, man, this is terrible.
I think I've only seen that once.
Yeah. I've got it on VHS, but I hardly ever watch it.
Can't remember.
It's a cool idea that they piranhas fly this time. What's that?
I can't remember anything else he did that was bad other than that.
James Cameron?
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of some of his newer work. It's not bad per se. It's nowhere near bad. It's just not really my cup of tea. I love, of course, the first two Terminator movies and Aliens and
Well, the only thing he's done in the past 20 years is Avatar.
Yeah, Avatar. I was thinking Titanic as well, but
Titanic.
I guess it's not really new anymore.
20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm saying newer, from the, I don't know, his post science fiction career. Well, Avatar science fiction. I don't know. Yeah,
I really like The Abyss, which you don't hear about too much. That was a really
that's a good one. Great. That might have been the first movie I ever saw that had a lot of CGI in it. It was one of the early,
very
that type of CGI, kind of a prototype for what's
pretty groundbreaking.
Very much so.
Sam Raimi is a good director.
Yeah.
Evil Dead movie.
See what he do those bad.
I guess Oz the Great and Powerful could have been better.
That was him?
Yeah. I actually kind of enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know. I thought it was better than most people did, but for his standards, I don't know. He probably could have done better.
I was never a fan of the what is that one from Hell? Something.
Drag Me to Hell?
I was never a fan of Drag Me to Hell.
Me neither.
A lot of people like that.
I never got into it that much.
You can feel a lot of Evil Dead influence in Drag.
It's kind of very Evil Dead-ish at times, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Toby Hooper has had a few stinkers too, like Crocodile, and
yeah, that's
and
right.
some other really bad ones.
I think that was Toby Hooper. I saw a Toby Hooper movie a long time ago, and I was like, I think that was Invaders from Mars.
He directed that remake in 1986. He had his weird. I like the original better.
I liked it though. It's weird.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, it was pretty weird, but not as good as Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 or 2 or Poltergeist or The Fun House or Eaten Alive or
Life Force. That's a weird one too.
Yeah, Life Force. That's another one. Yeah.
I like it though.
Me too.
Yeah, pretty big budget for that. Spent a lot of money on the effects and everything.
Mm-hmm. Big time. Always like Steve Railsback. He was great in that Ed Gein movie. He was cool.
Yeah, it's a good movie, man.
Yeah.
He's really good in that.
Definitely.
Let's see who some other great directors that have bad ones. Fulci had some bad ones.
Yeah.
Like Enigma. You see that?
Yeah, he had a couple misses.
Later on, his later ones are pretty bad.
Yeah, as later. And Dario Argento, of course, made that Dracula movie.
Yeah.
Dracula 3D. That wasn't too good. Argento could do a lot better, that's for sure.
A lot of his later stuff I don't like.
I agree, yeah.
After probably anything after Inferno, maybe.
I liked Opera. I think that was like
Opera, yeah, that was really good.
That's a good one.
When was that? 80?
I believe it was
One.
1990. But hell, I even love Phenomena, even though that's kind of like a mixture of things he's done.
Yeah.
I
I
like
like
that.
that.
I've got that on VHS under the title Creepers, which is kind of a heavily edited, Americanized version. It's pretty cool. Jennifer Connelly talking to insects, and then Donald Pleasance is her.
It's pretty wild, though.
Yeah, it is very much so. But
the monkey that with the razor blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty out there.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Phenomena had an Iron Maiden song in it. It just came out of nowhere in the movie.
Latch of the Blade, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
For the Power Slave album.
Love that album.
Cool, I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the latest stuff.
There any bad movies by Rob Zombie? I don't know.
Better question is, are there any good ones? I give him a hard time. It's just like every movie I have problems with. I have issues with all of his movies. Like,
I do really like.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Like,
I really do like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects for what they are, you know. And I thought 3 from Hell was pretty good too. 31 was like started out good, and Richard Brake, I guess, was good as Doomhead, but it has moments, but it was overall kind of just more of the same. And I didn't really care too much for Lords of Salem. It was a cool idea and had some cool visuals, but Haunted World of El Super Beasto. Now that was an awesome movie. That was his animated movie, and hardly anybody's seen it. I love that movie. It's hilarious. It's got all kinds of cameos by other characters from his movies and other horror movies, and all kinds of an awesome cast. All kinds of people are in it. I love Haunted World El Super Beasto. I wish he'd make another one of those. Because he's always been good with stuff like that, like animation and stuff.
Yeah.
And because he makes comic books too. Rob Zombie's Spook Show International. I have a whole bunch of those. And a lot of the stories on Haunted World El Super Beasto came from his comic book series.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I recommend checking it out. It's really, really funny. Yeah, I agree, Mr. Dan. 31 was very meh, very forgettable. It could have been a lot better.
I thought, I didn't like Lords of Salem. That.
Me neither, yeah. And I love stuff about like witches and stuff, but I don't know, it just felt like I don't even know, like it wasn't interesting. It kind of felt like a music video or something. It had this weird
yeah.
The visuals were cool, blue lighting and some of the cinematography, but just didn't grab me.
That's what House of a Thousand Corpses feels like to me. Like a music.
You're right. Yeah, it has some weird edits. Yeah, weird edits and weird lighting, and weird colors. There was a little too much of that.
choppy. And
Man,
Very
House
much
of
so, yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses had one of my favorite DVD like menus of all
Yes.
time. Have this Spaulding talking to you.
yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, yeah, hosting the menu, and then Bill Moseley and Sherry Moon did too, and some of the other special features. It was really funny. Yeah, Captain Sid Haig was hilarious in that DVD menu.
Oh, that was always so fun. He would just sit there and insult you, and all you got to do
Yeah.
is watch.
He'd make fun of you. He's reading that girl these like this dating newspaper or
Yeah.
something. Some girl's by is like turn offs. Let's see, clowns. Oh, well, whore.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was great. Rest in peace.
It was definitely a cool character. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he stole every scene he was in.
Yeah, when he's getting robbed, and he's just like, they're like, put your hands up, and he's like,
Yeah.
so awesome.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, was that all the topics? Did we cover everything, or
Covered
is
quite a
anything
bit.
left? It's after 8:00. It's like 8:15. So, is there anything else you guys would like to add or wrap up? Any closing thoughts or
This was a lot
conclusion?
of fun. Can't wait to
Yeah.
do it again.
Yeah, same here.
Yes.
These
Had a
2
blast.
hours flew by for real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I know. Really
Yeah,
did.
time flies when you're talking about horror and stuff.
Oh, we covered quite a lot bit of ground there. One
Yeah,
show,
for sure.
First show ever.
Yeah, our next video should definitely have some Hammer horror discussions for sure.
Yes. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me here on the Horror Metal channel. The first awesome episode of the Morbid Hour, which I think turned out very well.
Yes.
And we'll have to do it again very soon. All right. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you everyone for joining us. This has been the Morbid Hour with myself, Hellhound, Sean Urshan, and Horror Fan 88.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
You too, brother.
Great show. See you next time.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
You too.